Hello, everyone. Welcome to Bayern Now, the ultimate Bayern Munich fan channel. Vinícius Jr. is coming to the Allianz Arena. From Madrid to Munchen 2026. It's happening. It's happening, according to some journalists I would normally never believe. But it's a tradition on this channel to delusionally believe in transfers we know dang well won't happen. I am choosing to believe. Okay, Ted Lasso, believe. Vinny is coming to Bayern, according to TBR Football. A journalist I've never heard of, but this could be like one of those journalists where it's like Fabrizio Romano before the fame. You know, he's going to be spot on. Clubs are interested in Vinny in 2026, including Bayern, Arsenal, and Liverpool. And Vinny's future in Madrid is in doubt. Now, there is some teeth to this. Vinny Jr. and Xabi Alonso don't have a great relationship so far. I guess Alonso prefers to play other players, and you can tell there's a disagreement between him and Vinny. And I think that opens a door. It used to be that Rodrigo was the one I thought would leave. But now it seems like Vinny could be making way because Mbappe plays on that side, and then Xabi Alonso has to find ways to play Arda Güler, has to play Rodrigo, Mbappe. Like, there's a lot going through Xabi Alonso's mind. So, Vinícius Jr. is now coming up as a candidate for potential sale. And we know how Real Madrid are. They don't waste time. They'll go ahead and sell him if, they can get enough money. And I think Vinny might be thinking, wait, I won everything I needed to win at Madrid, and I just need to be at a club where I'm the guy, where, they look at me and I play. And I think Bayern, come on. Look, Arsenal might, sign him, Liverpool might be interested, but I think they already spent most of their money this year, unless they're planning to redo more spending next year. So look, I'm thinking Bayern's a decent destination for Vinny. We have Luis Diaz, who Bayern fans are deluding ourselves to think is a great player. He's not good, okay? He's very bang average. The only thing he's useful for is his fitness. He's always going to be fit. It doesn't look like he's going to be an injury-prone player. I think Vinny at Bayern would be great for us because we have Olise and Kane, and these are two players who have great decision making, but neither of them have the pace and the game chaos trait. They're very controlled players. Olise will stand on the ball and make the perfect pass. So will Kane. They'll pass it back if they need to. Vinny's just trying to nutmeg you and get a highlight reel. That's what he's trying to do. And every team needs that player. We don't have that player. I wouldn't even say Musiala is like that. Musiala is more of a supportive kind of guy to the superstar. I don't think Musiala can win a game by himself in that sense. Yeah, I'm going to get hate for that in the comments, but let me rationalize what I just said. Musiala can indeed score goals and be the main cause of us dominating a game. But do you ever feel like Musiala has main character energy, or is he more like trying to get things going for his teammates? That's what I'm talking about. Messi was a main character. Ronaldo is a main character. Even at his 40 years of age, he's still a main character. Vinny is a main character, but the problem is at Madrid, you have two main characters. You can't have two main characters. That's weird. You have to have one main character and then a bunch of supporting cast. So Vinny is, he believes he's good enough to be a starter week in, week out, and he doesn't have to earn his spot because to him, he's already earned it with years of great performances. And now Mbappe's coming in and trying to be the main character. And whether you like it or not, yeah, there are some teams where, you just have players that play for each other, but there's always one guy that's like clearly the guy that everyone else looks to when things get tough. Bayern don't really have that character right now. I'd say we think it's Kane, but Kane is so much more than just. Kane allows a platform for others to thrive, and he's not selfish in a traditional sense. He passes when he needs to, and he shoots when he has to. He's a very complete player, a great player. Olise, similar. He'll score when he needs to and pass when he needs to. But look, it's kind of the difference between Iron Robin and Frank Ribery, which that's a bad comparison because I think they were kind of equally main characters in their own way. But Robin would just say, all right, I'm going to score here. And he would. Ribery might have been more, I want to pass and make sure I, get this assist or something, go through 4 players and then pass it to somebody. Robin was like, edge of the box, defenders all in front of me. I'm going to shoot and I'm going to score and it's going to look great on the highlight reels. And everyone's going to talk about my cutting in ability. That's what a main character is. And, Barcelona, people might think Lewandowski, he's the main character. No, it's Lamine Yamal, because Lamine thinks he's the guy, right? It's not even just like how they play, because, people would say Kane is our main character. But I would say that it's what they believe they are, in a way. It's more about them, like how they see themselves. Vinny Jr. sees himself as the main character. And if you bring him into a team like Bayern, where no one really cares to be the main character, because he will cook. He will cook at a club like Bayern. And so that's where I think there might be some logic. Just received a text message, whatever. That's besides the point. That's where I think that this interest might have some plausibility. Because I think Bayern could do with a superstar on our team. We haven't had a superstar for a long time. A player that everyone else watches us just to see. We need our own Mbappe. And people say we don't need that. We have good players and that's all you need. No, you do need a player that other people talk about so much they're scared of that player. They almost make that player into a deity. That's what you need. Virgil van Dijk had that year in 2019 where he was just so dominant because attackers just there was that sense of, oh my gosh, this guy is going to destroy me. Like, it just felt like you could not do anything to beat Liverpool and their defense with Van Dijk in it. That's the kind of main character energy I'm talking about, where you could tell Van Dijk carries himself like, I'm the guy. So every team needs a player that thinks they're the guy and are selfish to a certain degree. Now, if they're selfish to a point where they don't make certain decisions they should, then they are a detriment to the team. But if they're selfish, as in they have ego and trust in themselves and they train hard, that's when they shine. So Vinny Jr. proved that he can be a main character and succeed. Madrid won the Champions League. And it's not like, he didn't have great teammates. That's never the point. The point isn't, like a Jack Grealish at Everton, where he's on loan and everyone knows he's the best player there, so everything goes through him. That's not what I mean. That's not even what I'm talking about. What I'm referring to is a player who thinks that the level they're on requires them to be the guy. That's what Messi didn't even, you could tell Messi knew he was the guy, because when his teammates are pressing, he's just like, all right, you guys run, I'll do everything else. You guys can press, defend, track back, I'll just score the goals. Don't worry, I'll do my job. Your main character has to do his job. He has to please the audience. So I think I'm yapping a little bit, but let's be honest. We would all like to see Vinny Jr. at Bayern. It's never going to happen. We just signed Luis Diaz for $70 million. I don't see us spending any more than that, although we honestly should. I think if Bayern were smart, we'd try to get a player like Vinny, because Madrid is a kind of club where they'll let a superstar go, knowing he's a superstar, just so they can have harmony and a team that can win. So if we can, they say another man's trash is another man's treasure, or one man's trash is another man's treasure. I think we just, I don't know, we could try and make something work here. What do you guys think? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Should Bayern sign Vinny Jr.? I don't know. I just think it's good that we're interested, because we're interested. I mean, there was another story that came out that we had representatives in England to talk about signing Adam Wharton as a Goretzka replacement. I love that. I just like the fact that we know that we still need quality in this team. You know, we need some Yogo Bonito, man, a player that excites the fans. Yeah, Musiala can excite us sometimes, but I think he needs help, you know? You need Olise excites us now. Yeah, it's you don't. There's no such thing as having too many players that excite the fans. If every player excites the fans, like Davies excites me when he goes on a run tracking back to help the defense, right? That's exciting to me. And when he runs forward and gets across into the box, that excites me. When I see, I don't know, Upamecano just bossing the defense, that excites me. When I see Neuer, well, to be fair, when I see Neuer out of the box, I get a heart attack. So it's a little different. But, you know, you know that he's so good that he's worth paying attention to. So, anyways, I'll stop the yapping. Thank you everyone so much for watching. Mia San Mia, and peace.